We continue our working day, and I will give the floor to Presidential Administration spokesman on ATO-related issues, Colonel Andriy Lysenko. Good afternoon, dear colleagues, and now information on the events in the ATO area during the last 24 hours. In Lugansk area, the enemy opened fire with anti-tank complex. This incident happened to the southeast from Popasna. In the Donetsk area, the enemy continued powerful shellings in Svetlodarsk Bulge, Zaitsev and Avdiivka. The enemy used mortars and APCs. In Nevelsky, to the west of Donetsk, sniper was active. And also in Mayorsk, Pisky, and Mariinsky region, it was calm. During the last 24 hours in Donetsk area, there were 33 enemy shellings. In Mariupol area, 2 armed clashes were observed between Ukrainian forces and the enemy. Both were in the region of Novotroitsky. Here, the enemy used 120 millimeter mortars, and our servicemen returned fire and prevented advance of the militants to the territory controlled by Ukraine. So all the attacks of the enemy were successfully repelled. Also, the militants carried out a series of shellings in Shirokino, and in Mariupol area, there were totally 6 enemy shellings and 2 armed clashes. During the last 24 hours, in the result of the military actions, no Ukrainian serviceman was killed, but 6 were wounded in course of 2 of these military clashes in Novotroitsky. According to the information of Chief Intelligence Department of MOD, a echelon came to Ilovaisk station, bringing ammunition for small arms and artillery. Also, military intelligence states that because real names were mentioned, real names of Russian officers were mentioned in the media, those who take part in the military actions in Donbass. The officers from 74th Detached Motorized Brigade of Russian Federation, that is permanently deployed in Kemerovska Oblast, showed openly that they are not content with the constant trips to the east of Ukraine. And during the officers' meeting, it was openly stated that these actions of Russia violate international and national law that envisages criminal responsibility to those who give these orders and those who follow illegal orders. 3 Ukrainians returned from captivity. These are intelligence officer Grigory Zavizion, soldier from 128th Detached Mountain and Infantry Brigade Petro Yarashevich, and the resident of Gorlivka Vadim Petrenko. SBU continued to detain the militants in Avdiivka. They detained Vostok Armed Formation member who collected information on the movement of Ukrainian armed forces units.
At the same time, the militant from DPR illegal military formations surrendered to the law enforcement officers. He is a resident of Prichistivka village, Mariinsky district in Donetsk region. He stayed in the military formation for a year and a half. He planned to earn money. However, during all that period, he received only once his monthly salary. That is why he returned to native village where he surrendered to the policeman. In the National Academy of the National Guard of Ukraine training center in Lviv region, the first military students started to pass their credits. In 2 weeks, the students will become National Guard servicemen. The examination will last till March 24th. The Ukrainian military students undergo training. 400 young communication students study radio relay and tropospheric communications. In the armed forces of Ukraine, the pilot phase of highly mobile teams on internal communications training has been completed. The main goal of the teams to improve fighting spirit, psychological condition and awareness of the military men. 4 types of teams have been formed. The Alpha is specialized in information and psychological support. Beta team dealing with entertainment, Gamma group composed of combat trainers, and Omega headquarters team coordinating all the activities. So far they operate in the whole area of ATO. The officers help combat commanders to work with manpower. At the same time they report daily directly to the head of the General Staff, Commander-in-Chief, which significantly accelerates the resolution of the problems that our military men face. Thank you, Mr. Colonel. Dear colleagues, are there any questions? There are no questions. Thank you, Mr. Lysenko. That's the end of the press briefing and the end of the working day today. The